So my name is Josh Atkins. I'm the lead designer of Fable 3, and today we're looking at the first few hours of gameplay. It's the first public showing. We're very excited. When you think about Fable from a genre-specific standpoint, I think we're starting to break out of a specific label. For us, the game started out, was classified as an RPG, but it's always been quite a heavy action game. It's always been very real-time, very exciting to play. And with Fable 3, we've taken that even further and made it even more exciting. The combat encounters are even better choreographed, a lot more involved for the player, a lot more exciting to play. So I think we've taken a step toward the action genre, but we still have our character leveling and our open world and all our fun sim stuff and our economy, which sort of, I guess, have roots in RPG. The game is still set in our land of Albion. And Albion is, I wouldn't call it a fantasy realm. It's maybe a slight offshoot of England, actually, in a lot of respects. So while there's still amazing magic and great creatures, and it's not quite real world, we have a very thin line that we don't step beyond where it goes a little too fantasy for us. We like to sort of stick somewhat in the middle, or a little bit over the fantasy line, but not too far. And so we've maintained that. So we've got an amazing array of different creatures you'll see and different characters you'll meet and different enemies you'll fight. But it's a real nice blend of what you might expect to see 200 years ago in London, combined with something that's maybe got a little bit of that Harry Potter feel to it as well. You are the child of your Fable 2 hero. And so because of that, the way characters treat you, the way the dialogue you hear, and the story structure is all slightly different based on whether or not you've played Fable 2 and then what decisions you've made in Fable 2. But there's no huge special benefit a Fable 2 player would get over somebody who didn't play Fable 2. Peter's come right out and said that the co-op in Fable 2 is rubbish, and definitely it could have been improved, and we all know that. But the thing for us that we're really excited about is this idea that you can play a very involved action/RPG game with another player. So the most key partnership you can have with another player is to actually get married. So you and another player can get married. You have a beautiful little ceremony. You can decide where you want the ceremony to be. You can decide, for those out there who've gotten married, you can decide how much money you want to spend on your ceremony. And you'll have two heroes, two dogs, and a whole bunch of people cheering for you, depending on how much money you spent on your ceremony. And then once you're married, you can actually buy a house together, you can have a family together, and you can have this whole world open up to you as a co-op players playing Fable 3. And so everything we do in Fable, we do because we want you to feel something as the person playing the game. We want you to care. And to just have co-op gameplay as co-op, straight co-op gameplay, it's great. There's nothing wrong with it. But to try to make you care about the other person who you're playing with in a whole new way is absolutely core to playing a Fable game. A key component of interacting with another person is actually being able to touch them in any number of ways, positive, negative, whatever. And so we made the decision to include this touch as, like we make every decision, to try to make you feel something you haven't felt before, but also feel something in general. The message of Fable 3 is it's not easy to be in charge. Being the leader is really difficult. And so there is a point in time where you become the ruler of the kingdom, and you are presented with some very difficult decisions. And we started the project knowing we wanted to pose very hard questions to the player and prove this idea that, wow, being the ruler would be great fun. Well, it has some fun things to it, but it also has a lot of responsibility. And then you throw in morality on top of it, sort of one of our standard themes of Fable, the moral questions we ask the player all the time, becomes about being ruler, becomes about morality and responsibility, which is a really interesting point. The biggest thing a player will see when they become king or queen is that the game changes. And that's the most important point. The game changes, the mechanics change, what you're thinking about changes. And I wouldn't classify it as a percentage of gameplay. It's more important that you feel the change. The inspiration for doing the dog in Fable 3 was to create this emotional character that was along with you for the ride, and somebody whom you could count on to help you, but also a character you effectively cared about. For us, when we look at the future of the dog, it isn't only kind of what new stuff he does. So, yes, you can use him more to build relationships with people. You can, he continues to find treasure for you. He's even better in combat now. But at the same time, he's also more of a character. And our goal was to try to build him into the story even more and try to make him feel like it wasn't just sort of this, and there's a dog. It's also, this is my dog. And one thing I'll give away is you have the dog from the start of the game as part of our effort to make him feel like he's with you the whole time. We did think about how to streamline it and how to make the experience, still keep all the real fun character progression and character leveling, but present it in a way that players could easily digest and also feel like, if they weren't that interested in it, they didn't have to worry about it too much. It was something that you can really explore if you're super involved with that side of the game, but if you just want to fight and make your hero stronger and succeed in the combat, you don't have to worry at all about the RPG stuff. So my name is Josh Atkins. We're playing Fable 3 today, and it releases on Xbox 360 on October 26th in the US and October 29th in the UK and other territories.